All right, those of you who've been asking for a really nice pinning kit for Locksport, you finally worn me down. I've grabbed this thing from Lab Security Systems. They call this the Classic Pro, and after having played with this thing for a while, I've got to say this is the pinning kit I wish I had bought for myself, and I'll explain why as we go on. Pinning kits, they come in a lot of styles, a lot of shapes. One of the things you really want to pay attention to, unlike lockpick kits, is the case. The cases are super important. This one's made out of steel, not cardboard or paper or plastic like some of those that you've seen. It's got a very nice, solid handle that's double riveted. I've got full confidence this thing's not going to rip loose like some of those cloth ones that I've seen. So, I mean, you figure inside of here are more than 10,000 items, pins, springs, etc. The last thing we want is to have a cloth handle rip, drop on the floor, and this thing break open, spilling everything. You can spend days sorting that stuff back out. Another really nice thing about this is it has two of these little, I know it won't fit in the camera, but there are two compression hasps here. And both of these, even if you drop this on the floor, like you accidentally bump it off of a bench, provided you've got both of these latched, they're both strongly spring-loaded. And even when you pop it, you've still got to push the lid down to pull the top of it off. So, yeah, really good latches, and that's something you really want on a good pinning kit. And here's why. You flip this dude open, we got a little piece of protective paper. I'll move that out of here. And let me try to get this a little bit centered. There are not quite, let's like 9,300 and something items inside of here. There are 124 different compartments. Each of them holds 72 pins, give or take a few, mostly give a few. And we got 100 springs here in this double compartment. We have a total of 69 bottom pins. So these first 3 rows are all bottom pins or key pins. And then this portion of that row. All the rest of these are top pins or master wafers. Now, this is really cool because this is color-coded. A lot of you guys think it's, well, they're just, it's like a rainbow kind of thing. Not true. And let me explain why. On the lid, let me move the camera just a little bit. Let me back it up. Maybe we can get everything inside of the frame here. On the lid, you can see that this is, again, Universal Kit is for a lot of different lock manufacturers because they all use the same diameter pins and the same length of pins, but on different cuts. So you have a table for each of the manufacturers, everything from Sargent to Corbin Russwin to Yale to Schlage to Arrow, etc. So a lot of different manufacturers use the same pins from this kit. They just have different cuts. For example, on Kwikset, you notice that they have only 7 cuts. You jump over to Schlage and you can see they have 9, actually 10 if you count the 0. So 10 different cuts on Schlages. Another thing you look at here, again, we're talking about the rainbow of colors. On the chart, you'll notice on the Schlage, these are all green. Now that's by coincidence. You can see some of these others have different colors. But what we want, so let's say we're looking for a cut 3. We're looking for a key pin measuring 0.21 inches. Now we're going to be looking for a green one. So we jump through here, we find 0.21 right here. As soon as we start getting close, we find that the green pin is here. So Schlage uses all green pins. If you put your Schlage together and you find a red pin in there somewhere, it's probably wrong. You want to double check your work. So that really helps you keep it straight, at least insofar as the Schlages. Another thing these charts tell us, over here we have top pins. Now remember, there's only so much room in each of those chambers, and I've made this mistake many times myself. I'll put a very long key pin in there, and I put a very long top pin in there, and the next thing you know, got the lock all back together, I try to shove the key in, and it won't go. And that's because I've exceeded the limits of that chamber by putting too long of a key pin in combination with a very long driver or pin, and it just won't compress. So what they tell you is from cut 0 down to cut 3, you want to use this top pin. From 3 to 6, you want to use that top pin. That's the maximum allowable. And then the longest one you can use with the 3 longest pins is 0.165. It's going to be a purple pin. Again, it's a way of double checking your work. Another thing, you guys have seen me gutting locks more than once. Here's another advantage to having colors. Let's say that you're grabbing a pin and you just you're not really paying attention and you actually drop it. Well, it really makes it easy to pick out. If they're different colors, you just grab that one out of there and it prevents you from having to pull all of them out, measure the length, all of them, and then resort everything. Try to imagine doing that with the entire tray of 9,000 plus pins. Incredible. It would take 2 or 3 days. Also over here, you probably wonder what that is. They just put 2 little, actually there's 4 little rubber feet to put on the bottom of the case, just so it won't slip on your bench. I would urge you with a kit this large, whenever you are not using it, keep it closed and keep the hasps tied down just to save yourself a lot of pain. Having made that mistake twice myself, I will never again leave an unsecured case on my workbench. Anyway, guys, there you go, the Classic Pro LPK0300. By the way, the 003 actually is the measure, the difference in the pin length. You could just go by the color codes in the charts, but just so you know, 0.003 difference between that pin and that pin, etc. There's also a 0.005, which happens to be the kit that I bought. Now, my problem is with a 0.005, I can use the same pinning chart. It won't perhaps get quite as close. And when I put the lock together, the lock will turn, the key will turn the core, but sometimes you feel it dragging. It's just a little bit rough. That's because the pins are not as precise as they are in this kit with 5,000 difference between the pins. So what I've got to do is generally find out which one is dragging, pull the pin out, put it on some sandpaper, take off 1,000th or 2, and then put it back in to get it functioning perfectly. So over time, over the years, I've wasted a lot of time sanding pins to get them smooth. With a 0.003 kit, you won't have to waste time doing that. These are so close, you're almost guaranteed smooth cylinder operations as soon as you put the right one in. That's the key. Anyway, guys, appreciate your time. Stay safe, stay legal. This will be the giveaway this week. If you would like to win it, stick around. I will tell you how to do it. By the way, this sells for $234 from Lockpick Shop. There is a discount for Lock Lab viewers. It's Lock Lab Tribe, and it's a 10% discount and it's free shipping as well. I'll put the discount code down in the description if you're interested. Appreciate your time, guys. Stay safe. Stay legal. All you need to do is navigate to locklab.com, the tribal website, and scroll down in the middle of the page. You'll see all the giveaway buttons, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. But the one you're looking for is the Weekend Review giveaway, purple band. Just click on it. It'll take you to the registration page. Again, scroll to the bottom, put in a good email address, so if you win, I can get in touch with you, let you know. Put in a username, doesn't matter what it is, and click Submit. When you're done, you'll get a green check mark confirming your entry. Thanks, guys.